Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is the second round of the NBL1 live here from Eltham Wildcats home nest in the northeast of Melbourne. Wherever you're joining us from around Australia or even around the world, you are going to be treated to a very exciting match between the Eltham Wildcats and the Waverley Falcons. Two teams looking to increase their wins at the early stage of this season after Waverley got just the one last weekend. They won 107-99 against the Frankston Blues, and then they went down to the Bandits, Albury Wodonga, by 3 points. The Eltham men, they got a very good win in overtime. They won by 92-86 last weekend against the crosstown rivals in the Diamond Valley Eagles. And tonight they come up against a very exciting outfit in the Waverley Falcons. My name's Tyson Whelan, and I'm joined alongside tonight by the CEO of the Eltham Wildcats Basketball Club, Greg Jeffers. Greg, how good was that first match tonight, and how much are you looking forward to this one?
Mate, this just absolutely represents the league, doesn't it? That women's game was phenomenal. The way that turned out, from where it was to where it finished, was exciting. The crowd is packed in here for the first round of NBL1 here at Eltham. We have two super entertaining teams. Josh Sykes just speaks for itself. If you had a little look at Big V last year, you would have seen Josh Sykes in action, but it went to another level last week. But then you look at the Waverley starting lineup, you know, the likes of Benny Lewis, you know, just incredible. Chris Arkell being a long-term player for Waverley. Matt Hancock back at his home junior club at Waverley. This is what the NBL1's all about, and we're ready to start.
And so the starters for Eltham are Sykes, Ava, Waldron, Doyle and Bradbury. For the Falcons, it's McWhorter, Hancock, Lewis Arkell and Travis. It's the Eltham Wildcats with initial possession, as they often do. It's Ben Waldron with the first points of the night, as Adam Doyle looks to just get a little hand on it.
Mention all those players. We didn't even reference Doyle, like the NBL point guard coming into the league.
Fresh from the Adelaide 36ers is Adam Doyle, and he's come to join the Eltham Wildcats this season in the NBL1. And so it's now in the hands of McWhorter, heading inside, puts it up, tries to get it to go off the glass, but couldn't get to go. Gathers his own rebound, then tries again. It's Simon Bradbury applying the defense, but he puts it in for 2 points. Josh Sykes with the ball now for the Wildcats.
Strong body McWhorter, isn't he?
He is.
And
he's a very big
stamp
presence.
that physicality straight away on Bradbury.
It'll be interesting to see how those two match up tonight. Bradbury is a slightly slimmer figure than McWhorter. Waldron inside with more points.
You know, he had a tough start last week in this league. A lot of people questioning whether he was up to playing at this level and the style that he plays, and he does. He has to adjust his standard, and he's shown already 2 great finishes at this level. Made the adjustment already.
He finds the first 4 points for Eltham. McWhorter tries again. Travelling violation as I expected. As you mentioned, that I actually found an interview of Ben Waldron from many years ago where he said, I'm very unorthodox when I play. Like, I don't do anything the right way. I don't like to roll the right way on screens. I sort of just play hard, and hopefully that gets the job done.
Mate, he's a kid who never played championship basketball. I mean, what a story.
He started playing basketball when he's 10, I believe.
Just played for Marcellin College, found his way through. Makes his way through the levels. Youth for Hawthorn. Comes to Eltham at Championship. And here he's in NBL1.
Justin Ava puts it in for 3.
Goodness me. You know, we talk about Waldron. There's Ava, a Blackburn kid. Went to Knox. NBL1, bang for 3.
And it was a shot
they're off again
from Dylan. Travis couldn't get it to go. Travis has had such a profound international career. The pass from Josh Sykes couldn't go. He falls to the ground, but he's a very
first of many times.
Figure, so you
I suspect he's going up.
And it's an offensive foul called on Dylan Travis. And it'll be Eltham ball once again.
I think Doyle got a deflection on Travis's shot there just before, and now they've got him for a charge.
There's a flopping warning called from Ava's 3 from many minutes ago.
He's a slim body, Ava, so a little bit of contact knocks him down. It's been a regular thing.
Like
but
paper in the wind.
But potentially some teammates might not disagree with that, warning.
Consulting now. They're just deciding, I believe, whether it's a 2 or a 3 maybe. Oh, the jump ball, is it? Regardless, at this stage, it's the Eltham Wildcats leading 7-2, just 2 minutes into this first quarter of the men's match. Of course, if you were tuning in before, you saw the Eltham Wildcats women win by just 1 point. As we pointed out many times, they were down by as much as 14, got up in the end, and it's now been changed from 7-2 to 6-2. It was decided that, I believe, Justin Ava's 3 was indeed a 2. Adam Doyle, the NBL caliber point guard, gives it off to Ben Waldron. Waldron looking to make it 7 points. Ben Waldron knocks it down from the perimeter. He's had 2 early 2 points underneath the basket and then just says, you know what, I'll go outside and have a shot at from out here. And the Waverley Falcons, all they can do is watch as DeAndre McWhorter puts it in for 2.
He's looked dangerous early, McWhorter.
Yep, he'll be the focal point of the offense, no doubt, for the Falcons. And he mans up against Bradbury.
Let's go to the well again here. No, they've tried. Better defense from Lewis.
Sykes, what does he do? He rolls to the basket. It's a travelling violation indeed called.
Josh not entirely happy. Keeps his cool.
Protest from the Eltham bench,
cool.
but they're pretty disciplined.
Looking forward to watching Benny Lewis. Haven't got to watch him for a few years. I watch him. Remember him dominating at state championship level for Waverley and Melbourne several years ago.
Well, that's right. He joined the Melbourne Tigers in 2009. He's played in the NBA G League and the British National League as well, so he's certainly had a distinguished career. McWhorter now with the ball for the Falcons. And it was Chris Arkell who tried from long range, couldn't get it to go. Adam Doyle gathered the board.
Doyle's eyes lighting up there.
Yeah, he liked the look of it. He's got a good charge to the basket there, but Josh Sykes got it instead. He's tried many times, the second, third, fourth effort, and on the 5th, Josh Sykes! It took many a tries, but he got there in the end.
Doesn't help the stat line, does it? But
No,
the offensive rebounds were crucial there.
I somewhat feel
top
for
finish.
the statisticians over on the other side as well. And it's going to be a foul on Josh Sykes. I saw that one. He pushed Dylan Travis.
A silly one to be giving away, really.
It's a shame, but it's a foul nonetheless.
Waverley just taking a little bit of time to warm up here, I think. Eltham certainly got the jump.
Well, with this home crowd on their side, it's not so surprising.
Aren't they packed in tonight?
They certainly are. This is like finals time in other seasons, perhaps, and NBL1 has just lifted the bar even further. It was Dylan Travis who tried just above the free throw line to get it to go. And it was Adam Doyle who gathered the rebound on the missed shot. Adam Doyle now from 3, can't get it to go. It's Dylan Travis who gathered the board.
Benny Lewis.
Benny Lewis. Also can't get that one to go, and it was Justin Ava who gathered the rebound as Adam Doyle has the ball in hand. Eltham just finding a way to get through their play. Waldron, he's already got 1-3, can't get that one to go. And it's Benny Lewis again with the ball for the Falcons.
Hancock.
Hancock in the corner. He had some space and he made full use of it.
Was an Illawarra Hawks development player in the NBL in the 2018-19 season. But Bradbury, poor pass there. Deflection by Lewis out of court. But yeah, Hancock, Waverley junior player.
He went on to play for Gladstone Port City Power in the QBL. He was, of course, at Lamar University over in the States from 2012-2015.
Spent some time in Western Australia, I believe, as well, in their state league over there. Good to see him back in Victoria at the NBL1. Arkell, renowned scorer around the senior leagues of Victoria.
McWhorter trying to open up some space for himself. It goes to Arkell, who's fouled.
You just see there, Eltham adjusted, send the extra bodies to stop McWhorter and size and strength, and Arkell read that play extremely well, making the dive. Nice pass from McWhorter to get to that point.
Arkell is 100% from the free throw line at this stage of the season, 2 games in, and he continues that with the first free throw. And with an opportunity now to bring it back to just 2 points the difference, he does exactly that. And it's the Wildcats with the early lead by 2 points. Doyle kicks it on to Justin Ava.
Looking for Grandy Glaze to hit the court tonight. Only just
very late addition to the team.
Oh,
Josh Sykes over the top of Chris Arkell.
That's the first one, Tyson.
All Chris Arkell could do was watch on.
But it's still only worth 2 points. And you've got to get back to play D.
Waldron looking to add some more points.
That's the second on Josh.
I feel like that one will make the highlight reel. And Josh Sykes gets his second foul. He'll be wanting to just get a bit more discipline to ensure that doesn't get any more burgeon.
But yeah, Grandy Glaze cleared from Chile. Last minute, only just an hour and 10 minutes ago, the clearance came through from FIBA Oceania.
Yes, we had the highest levels of basketball trying to get the situation sorted, and they finally did.
Benny Lewis.
Benny Lewis, he had some space, couldn't get it to go.
Still running with Doyle on the floor despite the 2 fouls.
Josh Sykes wanted it inside for a cheeky post move, but couldn't get it to go. Adam Doyle comes up to play the defense. It's Arkell with a laneway to the basket, and he puts it in off the glass for 2.
Good reaction from Waverley. 11-4 down early, and we're back to a 13 all tied up.
You get the feeling there'll be a lot of scoring this match tonight, and it's certainly been proven so far at 13 apiece. Adam Doyle on that left hand gives it off to Waldron. He had a chance from 3, elects to just let the defender go by. Steps in, tries the 2, but couldn't get it to go.
Hancock.
Hancock again in a similar area to where he shot that first 3. The pass couldn't get to Doyle. And I'm getting involved in a little possession of my own, but it'll be Eltham ball from the sideline. So it's Grandy Glaze making his first appearance for the Eltham Wildcats. The first time he's played in Australia, from what I understand. And he enters the court for this inaugural season of NBL1.
Gave up an opportunity to play in the Canadian National League.
Well, he made the right choice, I think.
What does that say about the league that's been created here? 57,000 followers on Instagram. Only just a few more than me, Tyson, to be honest.
A few? I would say about 57,000.
Yeah, spot on. Spot on.
And so it's Ben Waldron. It's an offensive foul. By the way that Mitch Lee's reacting, I'm going to assume it was him, and that is indeed the case. 57,000 Instagram
It's not bad,
followers.
is it? All part of the package of the elite athlete.
Well, you've got a bit of sway with that kind of...
It's all part of the package, isn't it, for an elite athlete? And he's proven basketball player, having played at the Canadian national team.
Ben Waldron applying the defense on Travers, Benny Lewis.
They've got plenty of scorers, Waverley, in this starting group.
Grandy Glaze applying the defense over the top. It was 2 points, Matthew Hancock. And now Adam Doyle with Glaze setting the screen. Doyle looking to head to the basket. It was a good play by Adam Doyle. That's the NBL caliber point guard you're seeing right there as Grandy Glaze approaches to try for the intercept. Couldn't get a hand on it. Travers kicks it out to Benny Lewis.
Hancock.
And then Hancock with the shot from the perimeter. It never looked like missing. And it was the Falcons with that useful 3. And Eltham will be looking to react with another
to go here, I think. No, 3.
Waldron, Ben Waldron, hello! He's got 2 threes in this first quarter. He had 2 early points in the paint earlier on. And with that, it's back to an 18-point game.
Shafford defending Hancock here.
Shafford, a new addition to the Eltham Wildcats outfit this year after a career with the Kilsyth Cobras in the Seabull. McWhorter, not your usual 3-point player, with a Casper Ware type gesture, just lets the crowd know that he's here to play. And so it's Adam Doyle looking to get a score of the Wildcats to bring it back to perhaps a tied game. Waldron with the ball. Doyle once again presents. 7 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Adam Doyle recognises that, puts it up. It looked all right from my angle, but couldn't get it to go. It's the rebound for Benny Lewis.
The athleticism of Benny Lewis.
Dylan Travers with a quick transition ball up the court. It's a foul called. Likely to be on Adam Doyle, I suspect. Could be Glaze. And it was on Adam Doyle. So Sam Whelan, someone I'm fairly familiar with, enters the court.
One of our favourites, Tyson. One of our favourites.
I don't know. I've got 2 brothers. I have my favourites. I'll never reveal. But
Sammy Whelan,
Sam goes well tonight.
The best thing to come out of Mafra, beside yourself, Tyson.
I was wondering where that was going.
Driving up to Eltham for 5 years to play junior and senior basketball. Now lives up here.
That
enters the game. But that's first free throw made.
Dylan Travers at the line. Hits the first. And he makes the second as well. So Dylan Travers, with those score hits, gets his first 2 points of the match. With 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter, it's the Waverley Falcons with the lead by 5 points.
Brad Kelleher comes in. Long time Waverley Falcon. And his opportunity in the NBL1 as well.
Grandy Glaze looks across to Shafford. He's a scorer, and this is what he's trying to do. It looks very good.
Bounce.
But these rings just can't provide him the goods tonight. It's Grandy Glaze. Shafford gets a hand to it, knocks it out of court. It'll be Falcons ball from the sideline. It looks like it will be
Dean Neville
entering the court. So it's Hancock with the inbound for Waverley. Shafford applies the defence. It's
Wheel deflection. Recovered by Hancock.
Calhoun with the ball. Whelan applying the defence. Grandy Glaze with some lateral movement. And in the corner, it's Matthew Hancock. He can't get it to go.
Had a few opportunities, hasn't he?
Lee with a quick transition ball. Hancock doing a good defensive job. Manages to pull him up. Whelan cutting in towards the basket. Grandy Glaze. Waldron now looking for his third three. Some protests of travel unanswered by the referees. Shafford can't get it to go over the defenders. Calhoun with a nice pass on to Lewis. He looks back inside to Hancock, and it's more points for Hancock. He has 10 points, the first player into double figures for the Waverley Falcons. Of course, Ben Waldron has 10 for the Wildcats. Waldron kicks it back out to Whelan in the corner at Shafford. He tries from this side. Can't get it to go. Grandy Glaze steps up to apply the defence.
Grandy just having a little slip on the AccuStruct logo.
He was never in doubt. Solid on his feet. And Dean Neville with a post move inside.
Nice
Can't get it to land. As Grandy Glaze applies the defence. The pass was just a little misplaced there.
Looking to run.
The intention's certainly there for an aggressive transition-like play. And now there's 30 seconds remaining for Waverley Falcons to try and get another score and perhaps extend the lead out to as far as 10 points.
2-3 zone, they're gone to here. Give them a different look. 20 seconds remaining.
So they'll have to get it up before the shot clock goes with 12 seconds remaining. Beats the game clock. There's Benny Lewis with the ball. Looks for Hancock perhaps. Instead goes to Harper. The captain puts it up from around the free throw range and off the glass. It bounced around. Sam Whelan gives it off to Mitch Lee. Time running. Sam Whelan puts it up. Lets it go and off the glass. Sam Whelan can't get it to go, and that draws to a close the first quarter. It's the Waverley Falcons leading by 9 points. Greg Jeffers, how did you see that first quarter?
Well, Eltham certainly got the jump, didn't they? Off Benny Waldron and Justin Ava, but almost kicked Waverley into gear from there. They've certainly got a lot of talent. They've got a lot of offensive weaponry. And that came to show as Eltham made adjustments onto Hancock and others came through. I think they sent the double down to McWhorter, and we saw the movement off the ball certainly proved beneficial to Waverley. Certainly going to be a high-scoring game, this one.
We saw the Falcons score 107 points over the Frankston Blues, who themselves scored 99. So that's a lot of scoring in a match at this level. And the Wildcats equally had 92 points in their overtime victory against the Diamond Valley Eagles. So yes, you're absolutely right. We should be expecting a high-scoring match.
But I guarantee you none of those games had an individual in the quarter-time break have a 1992 Barcelona Olympics T-shirt on. That is a retro, isn't it?
This is fashion, though, these days. I don't really get it myself.
Well,
but,
I'm certainly not at the front of that fashionista stakes, but I never thought the 92 Barcelona Olympics T-shirt would come under fashion.
What do you remember from the 92 Barcelona Olympics?
The basketball I don't, but I love my swimming at Barcelona, and I'm a Kieran Perkins man, so enjoyed following that.
Well, it's 9 points the lead in favour of the Waverley Falcons. As the crowd's going wild over a bit of halftime entertainment. And so we're back in action here for this second quarter. It will be Dean Neville to inbound the ball for the Falcons. And of course, they're coached by Elias Palioyannis tonight. Big V veteran, played more than 200 games before he entered his coaching career. Benny Lewis with the ball. Sam Whelan gets a hand to it, knocks it back out to Neville. Lewis sets the screen to open up some space for Kelleher. Flicks it through to Hancock. He's been shooting threes from there for the whole match so far in that first quarter. Manages to find one, and it's 2 points for Michael Harper, the captain.
Strong body, Michael Harper, isn't he? Hawthorn, Waverley Junior.
There's a very strong frame on him.
Went to Hawaii, I believe, for college.
Sam Whelan looking to find some points of his own. And he does exactly that, opens his scoring for the NBL1 season with that nice 2 points.
Whelan steal.
Tries to get another steal.
What's he do here? Settle. 3-on-2 scenario.
3-on-2. He looks to his shooter in Dave Shaffett. Shaffett can't get it to go. Grandy Glaze fought for the rebound. But it ends up falling down to Lewis for the Falcons.
Shooters keep shooting.
That they do. And so Lewis looks across to Harper. Kicks it onwards to Hancock. And so it's Kelleher heading towards the basket, gets through the defenders of Lee and Whelan and puts it in for 2 points. And they're out to 11-point margin now. Whelan looks to Waldron. Granny Glaze one-on-one. What does he do? He steps back. He looks to find Waldron. The pass was intercepted by Lewis. That's a handy take from Lewis for the Falcons. Turns to the basket, is fouled, puts it in for 2. And Lewis will head to the line for 1 more. The Wildcats will have to be disciplined when matching up against the likes of Benny Lewis. He's, of course, played many seasons here in Australia. He, of course, played NBL for the Tigers, as we mentioned, and Frankston Siebel for a few years as well. And he finds himself now at the Waverley Falcons in the NBL1 inaugural season. And he puts in the free throw.
After 13 points, 14 points, I'm sorry.
And now it's up to coach Trevor Lee to try and find a way to peg back this lead. Shaffett presents, Lewis supplying the defense. What does Shaffett decide to do? He goes to Bradbury. Bradbury gives it off to Whelan with 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Bradbury comes and sets the on-ball screen, rolls to the basket. Whelan tried to spot him up inside, decides to go for his own shot in the end. Never really looked like going.
I'd love to see a Doyle-Whelan combination in that guard rotation.
I saw it in a pre-season match, and it actually worked quite well. So it'll be interesting to see if the coach decides to go.
Slide Whelan into that too. Let Doyle run the 1.
Harper just driving into the basket, finish. And Michael Harper, the captain of the Falcons, with a delightful finish and puts it in for 2 points. The Waverley Falcons now out to a 16-point margin. The Wildcats will be looking to find a way to fight back that lead as soon as possible.
Certainly didn't expect this this point of the game. But Waverley looked very, very good.
That they have, and the scorers for the Falcons, Hancock with 10 points, Harper now up to 8 points, McWhorter with 9 of his own.
You know it's a serious timeout when the coach doesn't let the players sit down, don't you?
Oh, yes.
You know the coach is giving some firm instructions.
And also when it doesn't go the full minute, he just wants a short and sharp message.
Yes.
Get your head in the game, guys.
Didn't quite make it clear enough at quarter time, so Coach Trevor Lee never shy to let his players know.
The Wildcats are back out on the court. The team is Bradbury, Ava, Lee. It is Adam Doyle and Dave Shaffett.
It's not bad though when you've got someone of Harper's quality coming in off the bench, is it? You know, he's come in, made an impact. Well,
he was also state championship men's defensive player of the year last season in the Big V competition, so that just shows how good he is if he's got those offensive traits as well. Ava just slips a little bit, heading back for the back cut. Shaffett is fouled, and Shaffett will head to the line for 1 more.
The arc on that shot to get over the top of the Dean Neville extended arm.
It almost hit the roof.
It did.
And it came down. And after a bit of a trip,
Almost brought some insulation down from the ceiling.
Would that be the first time that's happened?
No.
It doesn't look like.
No. Federal government's listening, Tyson.
Shafford at the free throw line. It's too short. Bit of a shame. And it comes down to the Falcons' ball.
Oh, nice pass.
Lewis, it was a terrific spotter.
Oh,
and Benny Lewis just rises above the defensive players and slams it down. And all the Wildcats defenders could do was look up and see Lewis flying through the air. As Adam Doyle has the ball, gives it off to Shafford. Ava now looks to spot up Bradbury over the top of the defender. It's pretty hard when you've got Dean Neville there, those long arms. It was a good pass back from Benny Lewis, but it was Michael Harpo couldn't gather the ball. Doyle now heading down the offensive end. Neville once again getting his hand to it.
Haven't Waverley, they've just taken the crowd out of this game. We saw how much the crowd got into this in the women's game and arguably helped get the women over the line when the chips were down.
And they were ready to keep it going, but Waverley have just
stifled it, haven't they?
They have. But it can, of course, be rebuilt, and that's what the Wildcats will be looking to do. Shafford.
Nice execution for the shooter.
Can't get it to go. And it was Lewis who gathered the ball. Harper having a bit of a hard time trying to hold on to it. Gathers it in the end. Dylan Travis in the corner. Shafford playing the defense. Kicks out to Lewis, looking for another score. Lewis can't get it to go, and it's Ava who kicks it on to Shafford. It was a good spot. Probably not the greatest of passes. It left him with no other option than to retreat back out to Adam Doyle, who gives it to Justin Ava. Justin Ava is a good shooter, but he couldn't get that one to fall.
Just can't connect, can they? Waverley being disciplined.
One or two of those long shots fall, and it does change the dynamic of the game. But at this stage, Eltham just struggling to get them to land. And it's 2 points. It was a good move by Chris Arkell. He left himself plenty of room. It was a good offensive play. And the Wildcats left a little bit clueless in the end over what they could do to stop it. And so now it's Ava. From the perimeter, Justin Ava. That one looks better. And Justin Ava puts it in for 3 points. He moves to 5. And it's a handy 3 when you're down by 18 points. Arkell kicked it on to McWhorter in the corner. It bounced around, and for DeAndre McWhorter, he gets it to land for 3.
They've given McWhorter space, haven't they? And he hasn't been afraid to launch.
Well, he has the 12 points now, so he's definitely an offensive threat. And now it is Adam Doyle. He gives it off to Ava. And now with 8 seconds remaining on the shot clock, Doyle steps inside. And that's a useful 2 points from Adam Doyle. Of course, the point guard coming from the Adelaide 36ers joins the Eltham Wildcats for the NBL1.
Take the space away on McWhorter that time.
And so it's left plenty of room there for Arkell in the mid-range area. He couldn't get it to fall.
Shocked that they gave him so much space.
And I was shocked he missed it. And it's Ava now finding some space, heading towards the basket. But McWhorter, look at the man. He's not letting that one go through at all. As Josh Sykes, the excitement machine, and Ovi McGregor into the court in exchange for Mitch Lee and Simon Bradbury.
Ovi, the kid from Coburg. Coburg Giant all the way through. Stayed loyal to his club, carried him to VC, and went to college, and here he is playing NBL1 after playing a couple of years at youth championship level. Just a slip of the hands there from Shafford as the ball goes out of court. Waverley ball. Just age and experience with Waverley here at the moment. They've been a class act to this point. 43 points halfway through the second quarter is an example of that. Arkell.
Josh Sykes gets the hands high in the air. No chance of anyone getting a rebound there but Sykes. And it's Doyle now. Gives it off to Shafford. He's looking aggressive, looking for some points. Puts it off the glass. It wasn't the most pretty of shots, but he found a way to make it work. Brings it back to 14 points. 4 minutes remaining here in this first half. In the hands of Dylan Travis for the Falcons. It's a good hand by the man we were just speaking of, Ovi McGregor. Gives it off to Shafford off the glass for more points. And with that, and perhaps a good decision, the Falcons take a timeout as the Wildcats just start to build up a nice lead. And as we mentioned, the crowd now starting to get back into it.
Just warming a little bit. Nice subs from Coach Lee there. That's he just had to protect Sykes, given he had 2, but he's come on with Ovi, and they've made an immediate impact. You know, Ovi wasn't even in the team going back 2 months ago focusing on youth, but with the need for players of some size. As we waited for Grandy to arrive, Ovi took his opportunity last week, was outstanding. So
you're not going to hear him out after that. He's going to stay
No,
around
good luck
with the big blokes.
Good luck, Craig Stratford, getting him back to the youth level.
Yeah, we wish him.
I think he's back at this. I think he's made his mark at this level.
Yep.
So it's another good story. Always good just to recognise players, Waverley and Eltham, players that have come through the junior programs, where they've been, what they've done, and what's got them to this level. It represents this league perfectly. A good mix of local talent who have found their way all different ways to this level, and then international stars coming back to play.
Well, you team that with the likes of Josh Sykes, as we've been mentioning. He played, of course, for Fresno City over in the States in California from 2014 to 2016. He was selected in round 3 and pick 15 for the annual NBA Development League draft. And he played for the Caliente Clippers in 2017 and then made his way across here to Eltham.
Youngest import in the country last year, Josh. He's
21 years old.
Has his critics, but young fella has started well at this level.
Well, he had 22 points last week, so
they
can criticise all they want, but if you're going to score 22 points, you can't complain. And so it's listing. Can't get it to go. Oh, it was a nice touch there from McWhorter. Just taps it back in. That's very handy for the Falcons.
Benefits of competing, isn't it, really? You get that lucky bounce.
That sort of presence underneath the basket on those rebounds, and that is bound to happen. And so it's Josh Sykes over McBigor. Josh Sykes now with some space. Probably not the most typical shot that you see from Josh Sykes.
Josh Sykes did get a jump shot for Christmas.
But
he did work over summer, and Waverley wouldn't have known that. It's
making full use of it. Well, then now they do, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out for the rest of the game.
Oh, Leasting. Bad luck. Good effort again from Waverley.
Josh
Second
Sykes
effort.
applying a lot of contact perhaps on the rebound, but unfortunately will stay on 2 fouls for the Wildcats. And Shaffett gathers the defensive
Oh, look
rebound.
at Sykes run the floor. They're looking, but Waverley.
Yeah, there's 2 defensive players
outstanding
there.
on transition.
Played a nice defensive move.
You see, they were making sure they took that space away, didn't they?
They certainly were. And now Travis from long range gets it to fall. McBegor tried his best to get a hand to it, but it was a nice shot from Dylan Travis. And he gets that 3 ball, and with that, he has proven himself to be quite the offensive player with 27 points against the Frankston Blues last week. Adam Doyle now from long range.
They gave him space.
To go.
Oh, transition.
That's a transition play if ever there was one.
Beautiful pass. Great runner from Hancock.
Put it in for 2.
Nice pass from Travis.
And so just making their way across halfway line. And now onto Shaffett heading inside. It was an interesting move from Travis, who sort of stepped out of the way in the end, but Shaffett couldn't get it to go. And now Hancock again from long range. It looked all right, but Josh Sykes gathered the ball. There's a foul called. It's very handy because he almost lost touch of it. The Wildcats will be thanking the referee for making that call. And this is Ben Waldron, where he enters the court in exchange for Dave Shaffett. Shaffett has 6 points, 3 from 9 from the field. And Waldron, of course, for those 10 points, many of which came early on in that first quarter. In the first couple of minutes, I think he had about 7 points.
Just quietly, sorry, Tyson, the quality of refereeing across the first 2 rounds, so good to see our NBL referees come back at this level, and high standard state referees. It's good to see.
That's certainly true. Waldron looks to try and get it out.
Recovered.
To Ava, manages to hold on to it. Doyle now, turning back, retreating in some ways, gives it off to Waldron. Makes himself some room, a step back. Can't get it to go. And now it's McWhorter from long range, the perimeter. He's already hit 1. Josh Sykes probably didn't do his best rebounding effort there, but it's a travelling violation called. A little bit light on that rebound, don't you think?
It was almost like they were all expecting someone else to do it.
Yep. But ultimately, it'll be the Wildcats who end up with the ball. And the baseline as Dean Neville enters the court in exchange for a man who's been prolific at both ends tonight. He has 14 points to DeAndre McWhorter, and he heads to the bench as Dean Neville comes on. Of course, McWhorter had 16 points against the Albury Bandits and 23 against the Frankston Blues last weekend, so he's had a good start. Over McBigor gets it to go to Josh Sykes. Josh Sykes being applied defense there by Chris Arkell.
That might be one of those where didn't quite deserve a foul. You just put the point possession to Waverley. You'd rather the out of court than the foul, so maybe don't argue too much with that one.
Yep, I agree. Don't protest too much.
Good pressure from Ovi.
Leasting gives it off to Neville. Magbegor applying the defence. Neville did a nice offensive move, gets a shot away but couldn't get it to go. Waldron steps back inside in the paint. Magbegor gets a hand on it. That's a good effort by Ovi. Josh Sykes now steps through the defenders, puts it off the glass! And he's known for his dunking, but that was anything but. He was going downwards instead of upwards. And he puts it in off the glass for 2 points. He'll head to the line for one more.
Well, the play of the week last week was his pro hop, and he's tried to go again.
He's a man with a few Instagram followers himself, around 6,000, I think.
6,000. He's got some work to do.
Well, yes.
He's got some catching up to do. But it's a good platform.
If 6,000 is not too good, then I don't know what I'm.
No, I'm impressed. Don't get me wrong. Certainly, this level will give him an opportunity to grow that further as he finishes the free throw.
The free throw with 21 seconds remaining.
10 of 20 last week, so we'll be pleased to get that one tonight.
Certainly will be. 14 points the difference with 15 seconds remaining.
Ovi McBegor and Benny Lewis. What a matchup this is.
This is an exciting matchup. Crowd on the edge of their seats. Lewis turns to the basket, looks outwards. And it's Travis who puts it in for 2 points. What a bucket it was. Waldron in the dying seconds throws it up, but can't get it to go. And that draws to a close the first half. It's the Wildcats down by 16 points. And there's plenty of action, of course, to come. How did you see that first half?
Well, Waverley were exceptional, weren't they? Some of those patches, they were
the Wildcats started well.
They did.
Waverley just found a way.
They did. They had that stretch. It got them out to that 16 or 18 point lead, I think it was. And you saw Eltham breathe, come to life, and get it back to single digits, if not 10 points. But Waverley took control again late in that quarter and carry a nice 52 to 36 point lead.
Yes, they were out by. They did have an 18-0 scoring run, which is very handy. And they led by, their largest lead was 18 points. The biggest scoring one was 11 points. So those kind of changes of momentum will come to hurt you later on in the game, no doubt. But there is still 2 quarters of basketball to come here in round 2 of the NBL1 season here at Eltham, as the Eltham Wildcats take on the Waverley Falcons. Do stick around, plenty of basketball action to come. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening live and watching the NBL1 action here live from the Eltham Wildcats nest. It's the Eltham Wildcats taking on the Waverley Falcons. My name's Tyson Whelan, and I'm joined in commentary by the CEO of the Eltham Wildcats Basketball Club, Greg Jeffers. Greg, it is the Waverley Falcons with a 16-point margin halfway through this match. Can the Wildcats peg it back in this second half?
Well, they proved last week. You know, Diamond Valley certainly had control of last week's game, and Eltham just chipped away, particularly in that second half, and pulled it back and got the win in OT. So, you know, they're certainly going to need an improved defensive effort in the second half. Waverley were clinical in the way they executed in that first half, but then also took the opportunity to get out and run. And scored on transition a number of times.
Now, we did mention this combination. Sam Whelan will move into the 2 spot, you'd imagine. Adam Doyle.
I said nothing at halftime, Tyson. That was not me going in the change rooms. I was just speaking to the crowd. But it is pleasing to see that combination of Doyle and Whelan on the floor.
They have a live feed over on the bench of our commentary.
Must be something going on. But that is, I'll be interested to see how this goes, especially against the 2-3 zone of Waverley.
Adam Doyle will have the hand. The first possession. It's Grandy Glaze, the new import. It's a travel violation called on Grandy Glaze. He's not entirely sure what the call was for, but ultimately it will be Waverley with the ball.
It's not a great start to the third quarter, is it? And hopefully...
you don't want to start with a turnover, that's for sure. And so it's Travis heading towards the basket. There was a deflection, but Hancock ended up with the ball in the corner.
Jeez,
he gathers the rebound. And it's a second offensive rebound in this phase of play for the Falcons. It's not what the Wildcats will want. And it's an out-of-court violation. 2 turnovers from either end to start this third quarter.
The crowd still filing in from the halftime canteen break.
It's a staple
but they're in.
Of your attendance here at the NBL1. Visit the canteen, grab a snack. Be quite hard work watching this stuff. And Sam Whelan now with the ball, gives it back to Adam Doyle. He kicks it on to Mitchell Lee. Grandy Glaze back to Doyle with 5 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Adam Doyle puts it in for 2. Must have been toes on the line sort of scenario because it was a long way out.
Has a little look across at Hancock on that one too. Must be some chatter going on.
A little bit of friendly banter, never hurt anyone. And it's Lewis looking inwards to McWhorter. Now this is an interesting matchup. 2 big bodies. Randy Glaze or McWhorter. McWhorter just gives himself some room with that left hand and puts it in for 2. And McWhorter now, he's got 16 points. Doyle.
Clever use of the body.
Adam Doyle has 8 points with that 2 points. Ovi! It looked all right, but he's not the one to complain. So it will be Falcons. They have the ball from the side. It's a hands foul on Ovi Magbegor. And that is, of course, his first personal foul.
His eyes were lighting up, weren't they? Got that hand. His eyes were lighting up for a dunk at the other end.
That could be a momentum changer. But, of course, you've got to play it by the whistle. And that's what they did. Oh, that was a nice play. It was 2 points for Dylan Travis. Falling onto the ground, he puts it up off the glass. And there's not much the Wildcats could do other than to watch him fall down and put in the 2 points. Randy Glaze gives it off to Lee. Magbegor, Sam Whelan presents. 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. What does Whelan decide to do? The defense being applied by Hancock. Kicks it on to Glaze. This could be his points. And it's 2 points for Grandy Glaze.
Clever by Glaze off the ball. Saw the defender just shift. Whelan, a great find. Glaze, good finish.
His first points on Australian soil.
Hopefully that gets him going from here on in. A bit of a shaky start, but positive score there.
And now it's kicked around. Some nice offensive play.
Doyle, Glaze, turned to run.
Fell down. There's not much you could do. Lewis now from long range. That will fall out of court.
See, that would have been a heartbreaker, wouldn't it? Eltham was out running. Glaze had turned to run the floor, and
it was probably a good option by Lewis as well. Because you're right, if it had have landed, that would have been a dagger. You got to look at the stats after the first half, and looking at the individual performances. What have you made of the stats sheet?
Well, we called it, didn't we? I mean, during that half, McWhorter and Hancock jump off the page, but McWhorter with the 7 boards at the same time, 2 of them offensive. Second chance points really hurt you, don't they, at any level?
What do you think about Josh Sykes' presence in this second half? He had the 7 rebounds. It'll be a useful...
You know, he's got to keep himself out of foul trouble. You know, it really hurts. But they definitely need him on the floor.
Adam Doyle with some room. He just hit a 3 and he puts it in for another one. Adam Doyle brings it back to an 11-point game. A very timely 3 ball from the 36ers point guard. Now McWhorter gives it off to Travis in the corner. It's Hancock, and he steps inside the perimeter and puts it in for 2 points.
Tough move by Hancock. Tough move. Oh,
there's an intercept there by Lewis. He's done well to keep it in court. Travis now pulls up. They had the whole possession to work with. And that pass is not going to be handy for the Falcons because it ends up straight in the hands of Adam Doyle. Doyle heads towards the basket, and he's very good at that. He might be short, but he's very nimble. He can get it to go for 2 points.
Broken the seal a little bit this quarter, Doyle. Made a couple of buckets.
Well, that's right. Adam Doyle will be into double figures with those 2 points. It'll be Lewis to inbound the ball for the Falcons. So there's a bit of action off ball, but it's Travis driving to the basket, receives it, and is fouled, so it'll lead to the line for 2.
That'll be Ovi's 3rd for this quarter.
That's tough, but it's a tough game, and it is Travis now at the line who will be seeking to capitalise on it. He makes the first, no troubles at all. Can't get the second one to go. It's Glaze with a very handy defensive rebound on the missed free throw. And now in the hands of Doyle. Adam Doyle, McWhorter tried a bit of defense on the point guard, probably not the most quintessential of matchups, and he receives a foul for trying.
That turn of speed from Doyle, isn't it? Just
it's hard to compete with.
It is.
It'll be Glaze to receive the ball. Grandy Glaze gives it off to Magbegor. Ovi Magbegor stepping into the area. And he gets it to go over the top of the defender.
Great work, young fella.
Over the top of Chris Arkell, who's a defensive player in his own right. And
we're back to 10. We're back to 10.
It's an 18-point margin, so long as the
chipping
lead
away.
has been. And they are doing exactly what we thought they could do. We mentioned the Diamond Valley game last weekend where they were down by a significant margin over 10 points, came back and won in overtime. Sam Whelan kicks it on. It's a quick transition ball, but they just retreat ever so slightly. Glaze hoping to present inside. Doyle does what I thought he might and gives it off to Grandy Glaze with more points. You mentioned that after he got that score earlier on in this quarter, his first score in this NBL1 competition, that he might just find a few more, and it seems that that could be the case after another score there from Glaze.
A bit like Mulligan in the first game. He's only just arrived this week, so it might just take some time to get his touch. It's a 37-hour trip.
Doyle gets a hands on it, and it falls out of court off of Lewis for the Falcons, and it'll be Wildcats ball now with a bit of momentum, back to just 8 points. How can they capitalise? In this 5 that they've got out on the court, it seems to be doing a job.
It's working, isn't it? Working. Young guy in Ovi, had a bit of faith in him. We've got the Doyle-Whelan combination in the backcourt. Glaze has arrived.
It was a loose ball, but Glaze gathered it. Sam Whelan from 3, and Sam Whelan puts it in for 3 points. And just like that, what was an 18-point game is just now 5 points the difference from that 3 of Sam Whelan. It wasn't the most beautiful of plays, but it ends up being an open 3 for Sam Whelan, and he puts it in.
Well, you only need to go to the Maffra Recreation Centre over summer to know that Sam Whelan knows how to shoot the 3 ball.
There's a bit going on in Maffra.
There is a lot happening in Maffra, and no, Eltham have just chipped away. There's nothing pretty about it, but they've chipped away as we said they did last week against Diamond Valley. The big difference, I guess, between here and the Diamond Valley game is Diamond Valley were in foul trouble, and Eltham benefited from a number of the Diamond Valley players in foul trouble through that second half and overcame them. But Waverley don't have the same issue, so you can expect the coach from Waverley and the team will react and make adjustments accordingly.
Of course, these are two teams that have entered this NBL1 season following a stint at the Big V competition, as it was known, and continues to be. And of course, the Eltham Wildcats, if you are an Eltham fan, you would know that they finished runner-up last season with a 16-6 record under the guidance of Coach Trevor Lee, who's been with Eltham since 2014. Waverley, on the other hand, were third, just trailing behind the Wildcats with a 15-7 record. So when you look at that, of course, there's been additions and changes to the team since then. You kind of suspect that it should be a close game.
It should be a close game. And Waverley, a bit like Ringwood, just a mainstay at the top of the Big V tree for a number of years, as Eltham has rebuilt. So certainly both clubs deserving of this opportunity at this level. And as we restart play.
And two very experienced coaches coming up against each other for this very exciting encounter between Eltham and Waverley. It's Travis getting around Glaze, steps back, goes in on the right hand. McWhorter puts it up as a foul called. The foul will be Glaze just glazing up the referee. And the referee takes it in just as he should.
Mr. Batty wasn't quite sure what was happening there for a moment, did he?
Well,
but took it all in good fun.
Cultural differences, of course, over from the States. There's Grandy Glaze.
From Grand Canyon University. Grandy, and a character.
Well, I haven't had the chance to have a chat to Grandy, but from what I've seen,
that's certainly all the references referred to him as a character, which is a positive thing.
Well, if we take his way he interacts with the referees, from that, you can say that's safe to say that's probably a good description of him.
McWhorter goes on to make the first of his free throws.
Of course, McWhorter has been around these parts for many years. He played Latrobe City Energy for the Div 1 men in 2016. Played over in the British Basketball League for the Worcester Wolves in the 2016-2017 season, and now he finds himself here for the Falcons. Doyle gives it off to Grandy Glaze. Mitch Lee from the perimeter. Mitch Lee gets it to go. And haven't these threes been timely? They couldn't get them to go in the first quarter and second quarter, and now in this third, they've just found a way to make them land, and now it's just 4 points. Haven't these threes been huge for Eltham?
They certainly have, and Mitch Lee certainly not known for his three-point shooting.
Well,
I do know.
I suspect that as he shot it, the coach Trevor Lee's father would have cringed ever so slightly.
No, not at all. He is a dad, and he would have backed his son in, no doubt. But
if you say so.
Tough
Travis
drive.
Stepping away, fades
Doyle
away,
defended well. Well, this game has changed, hasn't it?
It certainly has. Back to 4 points.
Glaze. Hello.
Wouldn't that be a handy shot if he could make it go? And boy, did he make it go. It never looked like missing. Had a nice loop on it, and Grandy Glaze has come alive in this third quarter with 6 points. Just 2 points the difference.
It was.
Who would have expected it? Another steal and a chance to tie the game, perhaps. Gives it to Whelan. Whelan from three. Can't get it to go off the rim. Gives it to Ovi Magbegor. I was standing. I was out of my seat. But alas, here we are at 2 points the difference still. And it's Adam Doyle going towards the basket. And not since the start of the game has it been a tied game, and now it's 61 apiece. Who would have thought it when it was 18 points a lead for the Falcons in that last half? And now, with 2.5 minutes to go.
Look at that low post matchup. Goodness gracious.
This is such a good matchup. McWhorter, he won it the first time, and he gets it the second time too.
He's a good finisher around the rim, McWhorter, isn't he?
Isn't he ever? And McWhorter has 20 points now. And with that, certainly leads all scorers from both teams. Back down the other end. It's Adam Doyle, the experienced point guard, gives it to Glaze, who has the 6 points this quarter. What a pass to Magbegor. Couldn't get it to go.
It's almost like
didn't put enough on it.
Almost expected a defender to come at him, didn't he?
It's an offensive foul called. And so will be Eltham ball. I didn't quite see what occurred, but Doyle ended up on the floor.
Seemed to read where Arkell was going, and
well, that's one way to do it.
Taken out. So
what is... we were trying to figure out a way, the calculation of how they could come out here and peg this lead back. And we discussed in terms of predictions, what we thought could happen. But now we've seen it happen. What changed?
Well, he tried something new, didn't he? You know, we were talking about that backcourt combination possibly being a threat. I think Grandy, it's a different glaze to what we saw in the first half. More of an offensive threat than what we saw early, despite the travel on the first play. But, you know, the fives come good for him. No one would have expected Mitch Lee to hit the three. It's not what he's known for, but I know he has been working on that in the off-season. But, no, Waverley are a good side. They're experienced, and I'm sure that they'll be making some adjustments now. But Eltham's still got some weapons on the bench. Sykes hasn't been in this quarter at all.
That's
You've
right.
got Waldron,
what an immediate
Ava.
Impact he could have.
But I think it's defensively. You know, I think it's defensively. This combination has worked extremely well.
Well, getting the hands in the passing lane, getting the denials.
They gave up 52 points in the first half. They've only given up 11 in this first 8.5 minutes. That sort of says it all. This defensive combination has worked, and then got it done at the offensive end. And I guess that's the challenge, as Coach Lee, I'm sure sooner rather than later, will start making some rotations, and the guys are coming off the bench who've got to make the same impact.
You mentioned Trevor Lee. This is his 6th season at the highest senior men's team here at Eltham. What does he bring to this team, as having been around for such a long time?
He's a good player manager. Yeah, he's we gave him basically a clean slate in which to work from, and we backed him, and he's built the team. This is his work. So no, he's done the job, as he has with Victoria in the past, as we restart play ball with Doyle.
Absolutely right. Adam Doyle heading inside, lost touch of it. It falls out of court, and the referee will give the ball to the Waverley Falcons. So it's Chris Arkell with the inbound. Played at a few different associations, including Diamond Valley back in the day in early 2010s. Dean Neville who gives it off to Lewis. And now from the perimeter, it's Kelleher, but he couldn't get it to go. And it was Ovi McGregor who got the defensive rebound. Glades presenting inside on the edge of the paint. Lee gives it to Doyle. Sam Whelan looking for another three. Sam Whelan!
Sam Whelan.
Easy as you like. The crowd is up and about. And I believe the Eltham Wildcats now lead by a single point. It's a touch there from Glaze. Can he finish? Krispy Kreme Glaze. What a finish. Randy Glaze. Oh my goodness. Hasn't this match just turned on its head?
Turned on its head completely.
A flip of the dime, and now it is the Wildcats leading by 3 points, and the crowd are well and truly in it.
Trev has just backed in his depth. You know, we've talked about it, but he's backed it in, and they're doing the job.
By McGregor. Whelan gives it off to Doyle with a minute remaining. They would want to get another score, surely. Doyle looks back to Glaze, who's been an offensive threat in this third quarter. The pass back to him. Gathers it, steps back. Wouldn't this be handy? Oh, what a good touch by McGregor. Those are the little things. The offensive rebounds, most underrated stat. He gathers one of his own. Grandy Glaze! Oh my goodness.
Well, well, well.
I cannot believe what I'm watching right now. It is the Eltham Wildcats who are trailing by 18 points, now lead by 6 points in the space of a single quarter. And Falcons just looking out of sorts at the moment. Can't get anything to go.
Offensive rebound though, they'll get the...
Perhaps as a scoring end. And the Wildcats are certainly capitalising on it. So
big challenge here for Ovi McGregor, defending Lewis on the last play.
On the left hand is
tough.
fouled. Probably lucky that it didn't fall for him in the end. And it'll end up being Lewis.
Good for Eltham though. 3.5 seconds to go here. If Lewis hits both, as you would expect, they got opportunity to get a shot away. Is this the first sub of the quarter?
Yes, I reckon it would be.
Have they just played 9 minutes?
And you know what? If it's working,
seconds.
why change anything?
No question. You keep milking it. Keep going to the well.
There is sometimes a propensity to change for the sake of changing, but when you're on a roll, well, why would you?
You keep on running it. Because no one probably would have expected that 5 to get it done as they did.
Lewis, perhaps unexpectedly, misses the first. Prior to this, he was 1 from 1. Now shooting at 50% from the free throw line. And he makes the second.
Who are they going to for the quick shot? Oh, no.
That was never going to work.
Great play by Harper.
Pass. And
Unlucky
it's
to
Whelan
finish.
who gathered it, and that draws to a close this third quarter. If you can believe it when I say it, Waverley were leading 52-36 over the Eltham Wildcats at half-time. And in a space of a single quarter, the Eltham Wildcats have turned it around to lead 69-64. How on earth did that happen? Well, I'll tell you how it happened. There was 3 balls being dropped everywhere. There was defensive plays like you've never seen. And now it is the Eltham Wildcats who head into the final quarter with the upper hand.
A 33-12 quarter. Extraordinary. No, you know, we were sitting here just looking for ways that Eltham would make that competitive. The Waverley just seemed to have full control, but, well, that came from nowhere. Grandy Glaze has arrived. He got here, 4 days ago.
He has 11 points.
11 points, and all would have come in that quarter. Bumped down low. Nice little mid-range, hits the 3. We start to see the character of him. Whelan comes out and hits a couple of 3s. Lee got in on the act. But, you know, you can talk about the 33 points, but I don't know what's more impressive, the fact they almost doubled their score within 1 quarter or keeping Waverley to 12 after giving up 52 in the first half. But Waverley is such a talented group. You've got no doubt they're due another run. You know, they've just gone cold for 10 minutes, but there's going to be another run to come. They're too good not to.
They call the third quarter the championship quarter, but that doesn't really matter in this case because you just feel that the Waverley Falcons will never give up because we know that when you can get a scoring run of 11 points as they did earlier in the match, they'll be feeling pretty confident to be able to do something similar in this final quarter.
Well, you expect Arkell, you expect McWhorter, you expect these guys to come good. Benny Lewis, you expect them to come good here when the clutch moments come about. You certainly expect them to help carry Waverley.
And you're combining players at Waverley who have played in college over in the States for multiple years, players who've played in the Big V system, C-ball system. We have a player out there who was the best defensive player of the year last season in Michael Harper. When you put all that together, you've certainly got a strong outfit. And equally, when you look across the other side at the Eltham Wildcats, when you're teaming up the sort of talent they have, whether it be Adam Doyle, whether it be Josh Sykes.
That's who we don't give enough credit to, I think, tonight, is Adam Doyle. You know, that third quarter, the minute he started turning on the speed and getting past his defender and creating rotations, it caused a lot of problems for Waverley. So Doyle will be clutch in this last quarter.
He has 15 points, does Adam Doyle, and is shooting at 85% from the 2-point range.
But it's the 5 assists he got. I think it was, sorry, I apologise. 3 assists he got in that third quarter that also was a big factor. As we start again, and as expected, Lewis to the rim. Draws the contact, and we'll get 2 shots.
Slightly different iteration of the 5 out there for the Wildcats. We will be seeing how it goes for them at this stage. It's Lewis at the free throw line for 2. And so Lewis hits the first. And he's 4 from 5 from the free throw line. He's a reliable free throw shooter. He's a reliable everywhere shooter. And brings it back to a 3-point game in favour of the home team, the Eltham Wildcats. It's Adam Doyle with the ball. We're just 20 seconds into this final quarter. Glaze steps back. It rimmed out in the end. It had every roll of that dunny. And then somehow just dipped out at the last moment. And so it's Lewis now. Glaze applying the defense. He does a good defensive job. Stepping back was Lewis. Tried for the fadeaway, couldn't get it to go. Glaze with plenty of pace. He's a charging bull. Gives it back to Doyle.
Little unorthodox on the dribble, isn't he?
Perhaps. Not a point guard, so you can sort of come to terms with that. Dave Shaffett with a very useful 2 points. He went to go one way, came underneath and put it off the glass in for 2 points.
Creative finish.
It certainly was. It was a nice touch. And now it's Shaffett at the defensive end on Lewis.
And that crowd that was dead in the first half has just come to life.
Have they ever, but
Benny
this
Lewis
could stifle it. It bounces high. McWhorter almost got a putback there, but it came down for Mitch Lee. He gave it off in the outlet to Adam Doyle. So we're in this final quarter. It's Grandy Glaze. I thought he was going to put it up for a second there. Sykes looks inside to Glaze. What a combination! The two imports going to work.
Very different
they
styles,
appreciate it.
those two players. And you just feel they might
it could mesh
grow
quite
together.
well.
Grow together,
ways.
these two.
That's right. Lewis heading baselines, a
Oh.
foul call. It'll be the second foul on Shafford in this fourth quarter.
You can just see the crowd rise as someone penetrates and Josh Sykes starts rotating off the split line. You just start to see the excitement of the crowd as to what might happen.
Well, after we saw 5 outrageous dunks last week against the Diamond Valley Eagles, it comes as no surprise that the crowd will be waiting to see a few more. We've seen 1 tonight, and perhaps there are many more to come.
And after scoring the first 7 of the game, I think it was, Ben Waldron, or thereabouts early on in the game, we're seeing him back for the first time in the second half.
He's had the 13 minutes so far. And so Lewis at the free throw line makes the first. And for the second, it was not to be, and Josh Sykes gathered the rebound. Waldron now back on the court, steps inside to the keyway, gives it off to Shafford in the corner. Can't get it to go. And it's McWhorter who gathers the rebound. No, he hasn't. He's a specialist shooter, but tonight he just hasn't found that range.
Those times he's got to the rim, he's finished well.
Yep. Lewis going to the basket. It was a nice looking play.
And just likewise,
can't manage to hold on to it.
Likewise at times, Lewis just hasn't quite connected tonight. Those sort of moves are his trademark. Just hasn't quite connected at times on the jump up.
And so it'll be Travis and Hancock who re-enter the court in exchange for Neville and Callagher. And both those players that have just entered have certainly had their impact tonight. Travis has the 10 points, Hancock with 14, and they'll be looking to extend those point totals into this last 7.5 minutes of play. So Harper turns to the basket, puts it off the glass in for 2 points as the captain of the Falcons. Well, he doesn't receive the accolades that the home crowd would, but it was a nice play nonetheless. Adam Doyle from 3, and Adam Doyle! Hasn't he been prolific from the perimeter tonight? And how important is that?
Well, what do? You go under a pick and he does that. You chase him over the top, he's getting to the rim.
Adam Doyle with 18 points. He's leading the scorers for the Eltham Wildcats. An offensive foul called on McWhorter. Josh Sykes, no less, the one to take it.
Well, I'm not sure how you view that. It's a charge, but part of me thinks that you'd like Josh Sykes to be ready to take a bump, because if they didn't call a charge there, that was getting dunked on. So
Sykes knew exactly what he was doing.
It's good
He's
for Eltham,
one of the
but
more intelligent players.
Yep. 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 Eltham got the charge, so they'll be happy with that for this occasion.
Right,
but,
you are, Greg.
Just a little nervous that you don't want to be giving up the open dunk, I wouldn't have thought.
Glaze sets an interesting artistic screen and gives it back now. Glaze with the ball, looks for Waldron in the corner. There was a bit of contact, but no foul called.
They've adjusted well to Waldron, Waverley. They've defended him well.
They certainly have. They done their research, but Waldron showing what kind of hustle he has in the bank. Of course, he's only played for 15 minutes so far, so he has plenty left in him. And it'll be Waldron himself to inbound the ball as the Wildcats lead by 7 points. Sykes with that long reach gathers the ball. Now Doyle making his way around the screen, but you know,
just had that arm go out, I reckon, as defender went through.
Plenty of length that can sort of just go in different directions, and in that case it led to an offensive foul for an illegal screen. So it's Travis now with the ball for the Falcons. Gives to Hancock, the pass onwards was to Harper. Now Travis again. Tight defense being applied by the Wildcats. To left, McWhorter.
Oh my goodness!
Josh Sykes sends it through the floor. And then McWhorter gathers it off the glass and he puts it in for 2. It was a massive block by Josh Sykes. But as you've mentioned, when those exciting plays happen, the game of basketball continues.
It does.
And what it's led to is a potential three-point play for McWhorter.
Waverley stayed in the game, didn't they? That big
Well,
block, and they stayed competing.
They're not going to be bought into those theatrics. They will play the game, and that's what they did. And it's led to a three-point play. So as exciting as the block was,
it's a three-point play the other way.
Keep on your game. Glaze with the ball, looks onwards to Waldron. Glaze seems to have adapted quite well to the Eltham plays, having only just been here for 3 or 4 days. Lewis gets an intercept, a good touch. Doyle just gathered it. There's a few options. Josh Sykes!
Oh!
Josh Sykes hanging from the ring! I am lost for words. There was so much going on there, but in the end, it was Josh Sykes who puts it in and will head to the line.
Seriously, wouldn't you just pay your $10 just to come and watch Josh Sykes dunk?
In some ways, I think the crowd has done that.
Well, that's just that in itself.
And the crowd loved it. And Josh Sykes now has a chance, just as McWhorter did down the other end. That was an interesting play. Well, it had hit the ring, though, so Lewis can, of course, swat it out of the way. McWhorter presenting Waldron with a bit of a hook, but it's let go by the referees. And it's 2 points for Travis. And that's a handy play when you're down by, was it 6 points, now back to 4. He'll go to the line to make it a 3-point game with 5.5 minutes to go. Josh Sykes heads to the bench.
Yeah, 4.
He has 4 fouls. Josh Sykes.
Opportunity for Ovig McGregor again to shine as he did in the third.
And I think he can. He has shown himself to be just up to this standard. And he will prove himself again, no doubt. Shaffett heading into the keyway. In the paint, he can't get it to go. He's just struggled to capitalise on the scoreboard tonight as Dave Shaffett, but he's been aggressive. Oh, it was a good defensive play by Ben Waldron. He did exactly what you have to do in that case. But nonetheless, it will be Falcons ball. Spots Lewis, did Hancock. Now he steps into the paint. He can't get it to go over the top of the defender. Grandy Glaze gathered it. Just a few stray passes from Glaze tonight. McWhorter with multiple efforts, can't get it to go, and in the end it'll be Waverley ball.
Big body, isn't he? It's just like 2 children just scrapping around him trying to save it from going up. They did well.
Glaze has some great vision, but just some of those passes have just been a little bit off, and Waverley have found a way to capitalise on it. So Travis from the top of the perimeter tries for the 3, and wouldn't have been massive. It would have been massive if he had have got it to land, and the Eltham Wildcats tried to almost throw it out of court in the end, but they managed to hold on to it. McGregor setting the screen out, should be a foul, and it is on Lewis.
3 team fouls for the quarter now on Waverley.
Of course, the Wildcats already in the foul trouble, and that's 3 fouls on Lewis. Of course, it was last weekend, as you and I were both attending, when the Diamond Valley Eagles had 5 players, I think, fouled off. Ended up being just 5 players remaining to play. Yeah. And that was really what changed the game in the end, when Eltham Wildcats were down by so much. And now it is Grandy Glaze inside, turns to the basket, tries to hook it over, can't get it to land.
Almost made that more difficult than it needed to be, didn't it?
He did. He left, he departed in some ways, and then tried to come back, but it was to no avail. Grandy Glaze almost with the steal.
Tried to exploit Doyle's height down low.
There was a foul beyond Waldron. The crowd saying, excuse me, that was all ball. But it's a hands foul nonetheless. And it'll be Harper, the captain, at the line. So there's 4 minutes to go. And it's 4 points the difference. It has all the makings of a very thrilling finish of basketball here tonight. We saw the Eltham Wildcats women get up by a single point in the first match of the night. And now it's the men leading by 4 points.
Harper, this is the first.
At the line, Harper.
This free throw is going to be crucial down the stretch, you feel, at this point. This is
He has 9 points now, does Michael Harper.
Makes the second.
That was his first 2 free throws of the night. 1 of 2, not bad. And Shaffett with the ball gives it to McBegor. McWhorter just steps back, gives him some room, knowing that McBegor is probably not going to try for an outside shot. Doyle with the ball, finds Waldron. Waldron can hit these ones, can't get that one to go. With 5 seconds remaining on the shot clock. And it's now back to Travis with the ball for the Falcons. Glaze and McWhorter, hasn't that matchup been exciting? Travis too short on the perimeter throw.
I think I've seen a bigger combination than those two. That's
with 3.5 minutes to go. Sam Whelan heading to the substitutes area. Doyle loses touch of it. It was a great touch there.
3-on-2 on transition.
Harper. It ends up being 3-on-3, but with some space, Hancock elects to go to Travis. Travis stepping into the paint.
Oh,
and it was a good rebound by McWhorter, an offensive rebound. And they are so handy.
Well, we're back to a single point.
Single point. Wildcats got out by 6 points as we headed into the 3/4 time break, and now back to just 1 point the difference. Glaze trying from 3. It looked right, and it is right.
A little optimistic over Benny's hands, I would have thought.
Yeah, probably could have played out the possession there. And Lewis, can they capitalise? It's Travis from 3!
That is big.
And Dylan Travis from the perimeter gets the Waverley Falcons back into the lead by 2 points. What a play
just wondering
at this stage of the game.
Wondering whether you start having a look at a couple of blokes. Just looking like some tired legs for Eltham at the moment.
Doyle now heading inwards. Tries to get over the defender, but McWhorter says, no way. Doyle now with the intercept. Can he keep it in court? Throws it back, but only to...
It's back to Waverley.
To Waverley in the hands of Travis. He goes behind his back. Doyle tried to get a steal.
Nowhere.
And now Hancock. This is a dagger. And he puts it in!
Oh, that is huge.
And he just gestures to the Eltham bench saying, how do you like that one? And now the Waverley Falcons back with the momentum. And we spoke about it at 3/4 time that they have
another turn
in them. And now they lead by 5 points. Waldron, can he get a score back for the Wildcats? Gives it to Glaze. He goes towards the basket, is fouled. And that's the 4th team foul for the Falcons. Yeah, it's 7 seconds remaining.
Whelan and Lee to come in.
And they take out Waldron and Shaffett. Now this is an interesting 5. The 1 and 2 guard positions shown themselves to be effective in the 3rd quarter. Now what can it prove in this 4th? Whelan pops out, gathers the ball, mid-range, decides to dribble it and gives it off to Mitch Lee. Mitch Lee sets the screen. Sam Whelan hustling towards the basket, gives to McBegor. He finds a laneway and gives it to Glaze, and off the glass, Grandy Glaze.
You know, I think with Whelan going along with Doyle, it lets him take the second defender. You know, attention goes to Doyle. It just frees Whelan up a little bit, and I think he's proven that in the second half. He's been outstanding.
And so it's Dylan Travis. He just hit a 3 in the last phase of play, and what a 3 it was. And now he has the chance to perhaps go again. Doyle applying the defense. Sam Whelan now on Benny Lewis. Lewis going inwards, passes it off in the corner. It's Hancock, and he can't do what he just did, which was hit the 3. This time it comes down, and once again an offensive rebound. That's tough for the Wildcats. They need to gather those defensive rebounds, set the box outs. And now Travis again from 3.
Doyle.
What a massive 3 for Dylan Travis.
We're out to 6 points.
And it's 6 points the difference with just 51 seconds remaining. That's tough for the Wildcats. They have 6 points to get back with just 52 seconds to do it. Greg Jeffers, how do you do it?
How do you do it? Oh, I think he's got the right 5 on for this to happen. He's got a good combination.
You consider Sykes?
That's probably the only look you'd maybe have is Ovi, and whether you switch Ovi and Josh over, to be honest. You're going in an offensive set. Josh is probably not a bad option. He's going to create some attention, which may free up the others as well. But loving the combination of Doyle and Whelan together. Another one you're looking at, you know, Lee made a big bucket earlier, but, you know, is he going to hit the big shot down the stretch you need him to have? Probably not. Whether you back in Ava at this point. you know, if you score, there's going to be a Waverley timeout comes. There's going to be opportunity to sub going back the other way.
Leading scorers for the Eltham Wildcats. Adam Doyle has the 18 points. Josh Sykes has 11. Brandy Glaze has found 15, all coming in this second half. And Ben Waldron has 10. So there are some options out there.
We said that run would come. You couldn't keep Waverley down to 12 points for another quarter. They've come again.
They looked a little bit out of sorts in that third quarter, but they've never looked anything but prepared and suited for this sort of occasion in this fourth quarter.
22-point quarter we've seen from them so far, which is more reflective of what we saw in that first half.
That's right. It was just a bit of a lapse in that third quarter. The clock resumes, and it's now Doyle who gives it to Glaze. Glaze gives it to Megbegor. Sam Whelan with 7 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Lee's a potential option. He gives it to him. Mitchell Lee with his second three from the exact same position of the first. And with that, it's a 3-point game. Mitch Lee, once again, not particularly ubiquitous from the perimeter, but tonight he has been everything around that perimeter.
That is 2 big threes for Mitch Lee tonight. As I said, not known for it, but at the big moments he's made the buckets.
And there he's 2 scores tonight, so he's 2 from 2 from the perimeter and from the field.
The captain of the Eltham team.
There's an adjustment to the score, so it's now
called it a 2.
86-82. Oh, it was given a 2, okay. So it's 4 points of difference, which is pretty significant difference to a 3-point game at this stage. It's Travis with the ball. Whelan applying the defense. They don't want fouls. And so with 9 seconds remaining on the shot clock, it's Harper. Looks back out to Travis. Mbegor applying the defense, and it's McWhorter who had some space in the paint.
Very nice play.
Puts it in for 2. And with that, it's back to a 6-point game. And with just 17.7 seconds remaining, they're going to have to come up with something special if they want to find a way.
Uphill battle now. This is where the coaches come to play.
Well, it's nothing new to all the players and the coaches involved for both Waverley and Eltham. Waverley, of course, have to make sure they maintain that lead, and they'll do that at the defensive end. In this next possession, Eltham, of course, need to find a way to get an open shooter. They'll be looking for a couple of 3 balls, you'd imagine.
Got to tell you, I've enjoyed this tonight, Tyson. I've had a lot of fun. I'm a rookie in this, but this has been enjoyable.
It has been very fun.
It's about 4 weeks before we get to go again, with Hobart coming here to Eltham, and that will be a lot of fun. That one. Unfortunately, Hobart now lose Kayla George from the women's team.
Where's she heading?
She's going to the WNBA. It's not
That's
bad.
not bad.
NBL1
Downgrade
to the WNBA. Well, you know, it's not quite the same as in Dallas as what it is at Eltham High School. I'll give you the hot tip. 17 seconds remain. 6 points to difference. Eltham have, of course, advanced the ball here.
So they'll be given the 14 seconds on the shot clock as Adam Doyle is met with a man that has a bit more height on him in Benny Lewis. Obviously that he needs to get the pass to go. Time running. He just gets it in, I suspect, with his 5 seconds almost completed. Mitchell Lee getting defense applied by Lewis. He tries to get the pass to Glaze.
Read it, didn't he? Harper.
It was a good defensive play by Harper. He read it well.
What'd you say? Defensive player of the year last year, right? Well, he read Mitch Lee then. Mitch did the right thing. Tried to create. Probably should have gone the finish.
And now we head to another timeout. It's 6 points the difference. And as was the case when it was 17 seconds remaining, it remains a very much an uphill battle for the Wildcats. But as we were saying in the previous timeout, regardless of the result, this is an exciting project to come to life over these last 2 weekends.
You know what? Full credit. Basketball Victoria, you know, taking a leap of faith in creating new competition. I think
it's a bold move.
It's a bold move, and you know, there's a lot of critics about SEABL going, but you know, I'm probably biased coming from one of the clubs who's got the opportunity to come in. But I think this far surpasses these first 2 rounds, the media, the marketing, promotion around it. Everywhere you go, everyone you speak to, they're talking about NBL1 and the opportunities for the clubs to market it at local, state and federal level. It's now got a branding that people can push forward and that clubs can push forward. You know, it's important, and it's certainly a game changer. But with what Dean Englund and his team, Alison Cody and Nick Honey and the rest of the Basketball Victoria team, this is an extraordinary start, and full credit to Basketball Victoria and the NBL for what they've put together.
Plans to continue to expand it. Who knows where it could go, but it's certainly been successful in this opening 2 rounds, and that has culminated in 2 very exciting games here tonight. The first was decided by 1 point, and this one also close, just 6 points the difference remaining, and 9 seconds. And that's Travis at the line for 2. Just falls out, can't get the first one to go.
Well, child squealing in the crowd. It was almost...
Oh, and somehow it goes again.
It went again. But
and it's Doyle with the ball for the Wildcats. Looks to Sam Whelan.
6
seconds. Mitch Lee gathers the ball, gives it off to Glaze. Glaze with the final touch and the final possession. And with that, it's the Waverley Falcons, who at one time led by 18 points. Then the Wildcats came back in a massive way in that third quarter. They've led by as much as 6 points. And then in this final quarter, the Waverley Falcons have turned it around once again and got out to be victors by 5 points, and they walk away winners here in Eltham.
And Waverley, they deserved it. They were the better team tonight. They, for 3 quarters of tonight, they were in full control. An amazing third quarter out of the Eltham team, particularly that 5 they were on at the time. But congratulations to Waverley. Absolutely exceptional.
I'm going to put it to you that you have to decide a most valuable player.
Oh, goodness me.
And I like McWhorter, but what do you think?
Oh, McWhorter was big, wasn't he? It's hard to go past the impact
27 points.
Well, there you go. That really, 27 points really says it all. 27 points really says it all, doesn't it? And how many rebounds did he have tonight?
He ended up having 14 rebounds.
27 and 14. It's not like he hasn't got bodies to go against. There's other big bodies on the Eltham team, and he took full control tonight.
The great thing about tonight, and as I said, it's regardless of results, is that both teams showed massive potential.
Oh.
So Eltham, of course, will be disheartened by the loss, but they showed themselves, and it's all about learning, isn't it?
You know, it is. We've pretty much backed in the Eltham guys who have got us to the point of being at the top of the state championship tree and given them an opportunity at this level. To get Diamond Valley last week was good, and be oh so close tonight is another step. It's adjusting to the standard, adjusting to the level for all of the players. Full credit to Waverley, but they do have a few more guys that have played at this level and above than what we do, and that showed tonight. When it came down to the crunch, they executed when they needed to, and the Eltham guys have still got some learning to go. But, what a night. Packed stadium. Eltham High School, a school that can be proud of what they've got here, and a packed house, which is just exciting for the league, exciting for the club, and full credit to Waverley. And I know Mike Bullock, the general manager over there for Waverley, is as proud as punch as I am about his club being involved at this level. And I know the first person to stick their hands up in the air celebrating the win then was Mike. So congratulations to Mike and his team.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching NBL1. It was round 2 here in Eltham. It was the women who got up by 1 point, the Eltham Wildcats women, and it was the Waverley Falcons who ended up getting up by 5 points in the men. You've been watching the basketball here in Eltham. What exciting basketball it is. Of course, the next home game for the Eltham Wildcats is on Sunday, the 5th of May. So Greg Jeff is the CEO of basketball here in Eltham, and of course, Tyson Whelan on behalf of myself and Greg and all the volunteers here at Eltham Wildcats. We certainly hope you enjoy the broadcast, and we'll be back in the next month for some more exciting action. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you then.
Thank you.